Welcome Aquarius to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 15th of July for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. Let's think back through to the 15th of May 2018 because Uranus moved into Taurus but squared up to Mars, which went on into Aquarius, into a retrograde, and the two were in conflict, if you recall, for quite a few weeks. And that was a very tense period for a lot of early born Aquarius folk. Now, ironically, all these years on, we've got Mars and Uranus coming together in an exact conjunction. That's where they unify, they're side by side. And they are the welcome to this week. Now, Mars in Taurus tends to slow Mars's impetuousness down, but it can still give us a desire to enjoy the good things in life, and this combination could see some people wanting to splash out a bit impulsively, and for you that might be around something to do with your home. So if you're wanting to do something structural, which can be Mars, I feel, in the fourth house, some kind of do-it-yourself project, this combination at the start of the week could give you a lot of thrust. But Mars can also be mightily defensive in the fourth house. Uranus can be very unpredictable. Put the two together, you've got quite a high octane mix. So if there is a situation you're dealing with in your home, family or emotional environment that's cramped, because Uranus likes space, where someone's being rather overbearing or insensitive or wanting it all on their own terms, or reminding you of everything that you should have done, blah-de-blah-de-blah, because of course Aquarius people have been taking it because of Pluto in the 12th and Uranus in the 4th, well, this time you're going to find your voice. And you're going to stand up for what you think is right for you. Ironically, on the same day, the Sun's squaring up to Chiron, the so-called wounded healer. But in the sign of Aries, for Aquarius people, that's about our thoughts, but also our voices, communication. The sign of Aries is about very much our identity. The sign of Cancer is where Aquarius people need to be more obligated to others, more conscientious and virtuous. So if there is a situation where someone's trying to load some guilt on Cancer, and that can happen in the 6th, and you feel that you're not being heard, Chiron in the 3rd, that combination between Mars and Uranus is very, very spiky. But it could mean that even if you're someone who runs on the quiet, gentle and thoughtful side, you could be provoked to articulate something that's been burning away deep within yourself for some time. And actually, it could clear the air. And ironically, when it comes to that home environment, Uranus can be about innovation and Mars can be about industry and certainly drive. If you're wanting to work from home, or you do work from home, this combination could give you the extra incentive to make your home environment more in keeping with what you need. So you could move some furnishings around, adapt to a particular space. And because the Sun links to Mars and Uranus through this week, through your 6th and 4th houses, it would be a great opportunity to declutter, to have moved the furniture around to create a greater flow of space. If you're really into Feng Shui, this is Feng Shui central, this set of influences. But of course, Venus and Mercury recently moved into your sector of relating. But if you're trying to discuss something this week about a financial matter in the early part of the week, Mercury's in a discordant angle with Saturn, the planet of limitation. However carefully you try to frame your point of view, it may not be heard like you want. Stay cool. Later in the week, a fantastic link, one of astrology's greatest, between the two planets of fortune, Jupiter and Venus, brings the week to a close, and you could then find a huge stroke of fortune falls for you that can absolutely delight you. But also, of course, we have the second of the consecutive full moons. A 12th house full moon is one of the most challenging because it stirs up psychological stuff, but it also can bring out into the open, if not in obvious ways, people's opposition to us, sometimes hidden. Now, it was probably particularly challenging about a month ago on the first Capricorn full moon because Neptune was feeding in a drifting, dreamy mist, which meant that getting hard and fast facts proved rather elusive. But this particular full moon is supported by Mars, which has burst forwards. It's come into the very end of its journey in Taurus, which has gone on for 6 weeks, and it moves on Sunday into Gemini. And it forges a fantastic link to Pluto in your sign. But also the Sun, as this week draws to a close, is just on the anaretic point and moves into Leo on Monday. So we have the Sun and Mars collaborating brilliantly. We also have Mars and Pluto for the first time in 220 years across these two signs, urging each other on. What a motivational aspect that is. It's absolutely sensational. What about the Sun opposite Pluto as the week draws to a close? Well, that can create some issues if in a relationship you want something different from your partner, because Pluto is very much about what we want from our future, but it's also about what you need as an individual. The position of the Sun in your 7th house is how you need to connect to others. But the Sun does join up with Venus and Mercury, and I feel over the following month there can be some very exciting connections. But if there is a bit of a power battle going on in your life, whether it's at work, with a colleague, with a neighbour, with a relative, or with a lover, it could come to the boil as this week draws to a close. But that searing energy of Mars and Pluto is going to give you so much drive to get what you need from the situation. But that sparkling, delicate alliance between Venus and Jupiter can give you an uplift you may not have experienced for a very long time. Have a great week, Aquarius. Thanks for joining me. If you've yet to subscribe, please do so now.